Welcome to another edition of We Ain't Them. I am your host, Rasan, alongside my co-hosts, Kevin and Ebony.
What's up,
Hey.
y'all?
Before we get started today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/We Ain't Them, at We Ain't Them, my bad. Check us out on Instagram, at We Ain't Them _. Check us out on TikTok, at We Ain't Them _. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Now, we just jump in straight into this topic because this is a topic that we've been kind of wanting to talk about a little bit, especially with everything that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. So let's jump into it. So recently, Jamie Foxx, who has thankfully recovered from his medical condition, and Neo were in the news recently. Jamie Foxx, in a now deleted post, wrote, "They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you?" And of course, following that post, he also had the hashtags fake friends and hashtag fake love. Now, some people all of a sudden took it the wrong way and they thought it was anti-Semitic, including Jennifer Aniston, who stuck her nose in the wrong business and said, "This really makes me sick. I really did not like this post on purpose or by accident. And more importantly, I want to be clear to my friends and anyone hurt by this showing up in their feeds. I do not support any form of anti-Semitism. And I truly tolerate hate of any kind, period." And the funny thing is, Jamie Foxx had to respond and tell people it wasn't about the Jewish people at all. If you read the hashtags, it said fake love and fake friends because somebody stole from me. We haven't heard anything back from Jennifer Aniston ever since because, she don't want to get caught in the wildfire and apologize like she should for getting in black people business. Now, to follow up, Neo, he was on Vlad TV with Gloria Velez and shared his thoughts on how to parent transgender children and question minors' rights to receive gender-affirming care. He said, and I quote, "I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman. And there were two genders, and that's how I rocked. You could identify as a goldfish if you feel like. I don't care. That's not my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not going to call you a goldfish, but if you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. We live in a weird time, man. We do." His PR team would then go and apologize for the comments, but then all of a sudden he responded and said that he meant what he said. He stood 10 toes down on his statement. So, let's start this off by asking, why are celebrities so scared to stand on their own beliefs, but instead cater to the public?
Because it's the public that pays their bills. Period. Like, it's the public that pays their bills. If you don't get any recognition, any traction, anything, no one's going to want to book you for anything. No one's going to want to work with you. The fans, the exposure, social media, that's where the bread and butter is generated. So that's why a lot of artists do as much as they could to protect their image. I mean, I feel like a lot of them don't, but those that do. And that's the main reason why, period.
The country is built on capitalism.
Period.
So that's ingrained in all of us as Americans.
Mhm.
Capitalism. How can we get to the bag? How can we maintain the bag? How can we increase the bag at that point? So that's the answer to the question right there. So when we're talking about it, even in everything that you're describing here, if you as the artist or you as the brand aren't going on ahead and protecting your bag, the people that work for you and rely on you to make some money so that they can make their money, they sure as hell are going to protect that. If they're not going to protect it, the labels or studios or whatever the case may be is going to be like, oh, hell no.
Right.
We got to go ahead and protect that. And if that means dropping you to get somebody else, we'll do that too.
Yeah, because you're replaceable. Once you become a liability, you're replaceable.
And
period.
expendable, 100%. So, capitalism, we got to love it. America, the land of the free and the greats.
Allegedly.
I mean, to kind of follow up on that, we've kind of seen what happens when you kind of try to stand 10 toes down on what you say when it comes to, Kanye. We've spoke about Kanye one too many times. And, he kept on saying what he wanted to say and what he believed in. Look how much endorsement deals he lost, even though I think both sides kind of lost out in the end because Adidas hasn't been able to sell Yeezys at all ever since Kanye has been separated from it. So it didn't help either party just dropping him.
I think what it really comes down to, especially when you bring Kanye into the situation, when you wrong, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you dead wrong, you are dead wrong. Shut the hell up. You're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and then again, capitalism. Because you bring up the perfect situation. He was dead wrong. They cut him off. And then when they shit wasn't selling, they said, God damn, we gotta get this nigga back. Please.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with let me not go there.
Nah, go there. Come on.
I feel like it's the same thing with Bravo and Nene Leakes.
Oh, because
I'm be honest.
Nah, say that.
Period. Like, the show has not been standing well since her. I mean, granted, she's come on and off the show, but like the fact that she's never coming back, y'all never gonna recover from that. I'm sorry.
I feel like when you bring up that, again, she said what she said, and it's not changing over here. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting classic lines like that. But again, not that many people will stand in their truth.
Period.
Like she will.
It's true.
And that's again, that's the whole basis of the conversation. But when can you stand up to do that?
But my thing is, I'm all for standing 10 toes down, right? Like, Nene stood 10 toes down, and although it may have hurt her bag, it definitely hurt Bravo's bag, right? However, in Neo's case, Neo stood 10 toes down, but he was just talking. Like, my thing is, people are allowed to have an opinion, but when your opinion is riddled in ignorance, it's like, bruh. Like, for one, I'm not taking no parenting advice from nobody. Nobody who made their wife tie up their tubes talking about they want to have children, and then next thing you know, you're going to have children with somebody else. I don't think I should take parenting advice from you, sir. I don't even think I should take music advice from you, seeing that you haven't had a hit since, 08? But let me not do that.
I mean, he posted something today that said he's so unbothered, yet you continue to wear this hat to cover your land before time ass head. But you're so okay, I'm sorry.
He's not unbothered. He would have never commented if he was unbothered.
I'm sorry.
I mean, let's call it for what it is. He's staying 10 toes down because, let's be real about it, he has nothing to lose. Let's call it for what it is. He really has nothing to lose. Like, I'm not gonna act like I'm oh yeah. Yo, we waiting for that next Neo album. Nobody's waiting for that shit.
I ain't gonna front. You're still a good performer. Because we all saw you. All three of us saw you last year in Vegas. You did do your thing. It was a sense of nostalgia, but the nostalgia has worn off. And I'm asking you guys, like, my thing is, when it comes to standing 10 toes down, even if the person is wrong, like Kanye was wrong, Neo is wrong. Like, okay, whatever, dude. Should they still stand 10 toes down in that regard?
You said what you said. You meant what you said. Stick with what you said. Stick with your gut.
But people have the right. But the thing is, people have the right to say fucked up things, right? And it be an opinion. But if you're educated, when people educate you, I'm sure Jennifer Aniston's getting an education of a lifetime. So is Neo. Right? Because the internet is going to internet, as I always say. Mm-hmm. Is it fair to say something out of context, stand 10 toes down like you bad, but then when people explain to you why what you said was wrong, outside of the, fuck you, bitch, you're canceled, is it fair to switch up can you be influenced to change your mindset, especially if you said something wrong in the first place?
I got this one. I got it. All right, so I bring up this example because it's a very great example. Mm-hmm. A Tribe Called Quest. We love them. A lot of people love them. Their music is so beautiful. Do you know that back in the days, they had a song called Georgie Porgy?
I've heard, yes. That was the homophobic song, right?
Shout out to CDTV who actually exposed that, because a lot of people didn't realize. Would you mind hearing the lyrics?
No, why would he want to hear that shit?
I mean, let's go. We're having a conversation.
All right, so Fife.
In the beginning there was Adam and Eve. Or some try to make it look like Adam and Steve. Walking in Brazil with the laundrette light. Oh my God, how close can one be? Well, anyway, better him than me.
Yawn.
So again, I think it goes into, again, cis, hetero,
Bro.
straight men
Period.
continuing to mind business that does not pay them. 100%. I don't get it. It's strange. It's weird. You know, it's giving a little obsessed. It's giving, do you actually want to be over here?
Oh,
Not okay, you know, just the level of it. It's giving, if
there's some truth to
You know,
it. Studies have been done.
us in the alphabet community, like we like to call ourselves, are all here for you and we are all welcoming.
Welcome.
When you're ready. But again, let's transition back into Neo, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Because here's my thing. And again, people continuing to pay mind to the business that does not pay them. Neo, until you have a child that tells you that they do not feel comfortable in their body and they want to transition into what they actually feel like, shut the fuck up. Because you will never know what it is to parent a child that way. Because you've never been in that situation. It doesn't matter what your ignorance is. It doesn't matter what you grew up in. It doesn't matter anything sort like that. If you actually love your child, you will aid them through that process itself, regardless of what your personal beliefs are. Or if we're really talking about it and you guys are all, they're all expendable or whatever the case may be with their teams or whatnot, you could be the parent that has a transgender child that you literally throw away and everybody looks at you like you're trash.
Period.
Or a lesbian child like Jackie Chan. Everybody's favorite.
Yeah, I heard about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, and then want to do a goddamn whole video sitting next to an actor who's playing his daughter about all his old videos and shit. That shit was so disgusting. Man, fuck Jackie Chan for that. I don't care. I personally will say it. But to follow up, do you feel like as a generation, especially this generation as of late, do you feel like we're too sensitive to people's beliefs?
If you don't mind, I would like to. I feel like we've gotten to a point where nobody can have an opinion. Opinion is not a fact. Now, granted, there's some people who are just flat out ignorant. There are people who are racist. There's people who's homophobic. There's people who are just wrapped up and wound up in bitterness and hatred and want to perpetuate violence. We're not going to be stupid and act like those people do not exist. But sometimes you can't even say boop without, oh, you're canceled. You know, and I feel like people are allowed to have an opinion. And just because somebody may have an opposing opinion to yours does not mean you are in the right. It doesn't mean that person's in the right. But it creates a space to hear what the opposing person has to say and hear where they're coming from. People aren't taking the time to listen. People are just becoming very reactive and not giving people the opportunity to explain themselves or to just hear people out. We do a lot of this, but we don't do a lot of this. And that's what the problem is.
Yes, a lot of people listen to respond, not listen to understand. So once again, because of that, and I think everybody is so on edge, like, I don't know when we turned into this, everybody's out to get me society.
Yeah.
Some people are just, a lot of us actually just do not care. Like,
Period.
we're just trying to get to the next day and just live our lives. So, you know, even in this, like, this whole Jamie Foxx thing, he posted an anti-Semitic message to his 16.7 million followers. Okay. Was Jesus not a Jew?
Exactly.
Did Judas, who was a Jew, not go on ahead and betray him?
Yeah, but I don't even think he was coming from that.
No, and I'm just saying, like, he's not even coming from that perspective.
Right.
But again, a lot of people like to go on ahead and we're not looking at the facts of the situation. We go on ahead and just look at the overall thing. He's like, oh no, he's out to attack us.
Exactly.
You know?
They didn't look at the overall thing. They looked at part of it. The whole thing, the whole big problem is that everybody looks at part of it. Our favorite thing, and I will say this as a podcast and I will say this as a person, but I'll be honest with you. If you look on videos, a lot of videos, people do eye-catching things, and they look at eye-catching videos and then go off based on that eye-catching videos. But don't watch the rest of our video to see what exactly we're talking about and speaking about in depth. They do that to a lot of people. Everybody does the same old thing nowadays. When they see a social media clip just on Instagram for like a minute or minute and a half, that's all they see. That's all they want to see before they go off the deep end. Mind you, I made a whole 59 minutes extra explaining myself, but you don't want that part. You just want the part that's eye-catching. Now, of course, that works. Controversy creates cash. We all know that.
Yeah.
Sensationalism.
There's nothing, you got to do what you got to do to make your money. But at the end of the day, when people want to complain, I would tell them right after, watch the whole video. Watch the whole thing before you give your fucking opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, and then again, people don't do their research 100%.
No.
You know, like if there's anything that's popping up, I always want to stay silent to understand everything that's happening because I never want to come off as uneducated, ignorant, you know what I mean? Abrasive in any situation itself.
I agree.
But again, due to sensationalism, we go in ahead and everything just gets blown up, you know, like I don't know, Cardi B did this. Oh my gosh, she's the most horrible person.
Oh, I got a good example for Cardi B. So Cardi B, WAP was playing in her house, and then as soon as her kid walks past, she turns it off. She turns it off immediately, right? People are like, well, how is it that you could play this, you could have this song out, but now all of a sudden your child can't listen to it, but my child can. She was like, well, you're a fucking adult.
Exactly.
Don't let your child listen to the fucking song. Cause a whole bunch of back and forth.
Exactly. It's like, never mind. Like, I'll just say this. Cardi B and all these artists, we're not there. They have a responsibility. Their only responsibility is to entertain. They're not role models. They're not like, I don't know what y'all expect from these fucking people. They're just artists.
I mean,
you can't expect them to do the parenting for you.
I mean, let's talk about like artists who, you know, it looks like nowadays they're really showing their true selves. Doja Cat. So Doja Cat as of late has been just going off the deep end.
As of recent?
Well, she's always been going off the deep end.
I've been telling y'all niggas about her. Like,
she really has.
Telling
she
y'all
really
niggas
has been
about
always
her.
doing that. But she really don't care, and she's really been coming crazy at her fans, especially that fan page where she says, if this is all you guys have time to do, you guys need to get out the house and go get a job or something.
Yeah.
And now all y'all are so in shock. And guess what she did? She trolled y'all asses by coming out with a new song, taking shots at y'all, and y'all still eating that shit up. That is the most hilarious shit possible.
I've been telling y'all about Doja ever since 2020. I think it was May 2020 when she got caught up in that racist chat line shit. Prior to that, she had came out with Bitch I'm a Cow, right? Is that the song? Moo. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this girl's quirky. She's geeky. I could get with it. You know, I can't get with the music because I'm not with the bubblegummy pop shit. But like, and then when I saw her in the racist chat, and then like, I remember people were telling me, Ebony, you need to get over that. I'm glad I never did. Because I'm glad I never became a fan. And granted, like, there's like a bittersweet to it, right? Because although she said what she said to her fans, I'm gonna ask the both of y'all this. Was she wrong?
No.
Okay then. So what are we talking about here? Like, my thing is, right? She was not wrong. These parasocial relationships have got to stop. Like, y'all need to find something better to do with your time. The Barbs.
The Bayhive. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm so sorry.
I love Beyonce.
He called out the Navy. I ain't really part of the Navy. I'm not part of no type of. I am me, fi me. Ebony, Kappa, Ebony. I ain't got time for no fan base. I love Rihanna, but I ain't part of no Navy. But like I'm saying, like, I just feel like I've been telling y'all this bitch was weird. And she has a right to be, you know, but if it doesn't suit your needs, I've been telling y'all, like, y'all, people were coming at me telling me, oh, Ebony, you need to let that go. I let it go. I don't listen to her music. Like, for one, she doesn't make the type of music I care for anyway. But like, just her in general, something off about her.
Oh, you know what? When people tell you, oh, you should let it go, you know.
You was there. You was there.
yeah.
Jim, your friend. Oh, I meant to call Jim out. Sorry, Jim, love you. But Jim told me to get over it.
Was it Jim?
It was at his crib, and you
Oh.
was like, "Oh yeah, Ebony don't like Doja Cat because of the whole racist shot line thing." He was like, "Oh come on, Ebs," and I'm like,
Yeah, but for those people, I wouldn't say him specifically, but I would say, yo, for those people who say that, I was like, yo, I wonder how y'all feel. Like, y'all really feel that way. Like, oh yeah, y'all so stuck on an artist because their music is that good, and these artists are really clowning y'all.
"Yeah," and making a profit off of it too.
Exactly.
Like
A great example, and he's not, he's in jail now. It's R. Kelly.
Thank you.
R.
Thank
fucking
you.
Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Especially, yo, I hope you old folks are watching this goddamn podcast. I
All
hope
of
you
y'all.
are.
If you step in the
Y'all
name
are-
of love, you are weird. You are weird. You are weird. This man is convicted of this. Convicted.
I don't know how people
feeling on your
yeah.
booty is just all these songs. All the songs that he has are so rapey in general.
I
Feeling
feel
on your booty, AJ.
it
nothing
seems
but a
like you're
number.
ready.
It seems like you ready.
How you could sing that? No. How could you be in your car? Imagine it. You're in your fucking car,
Nigga got a
and that
whole
song
album.
plays, and you're singing that knowing.
And there will still be somebody who tells you no, because that's the artist. That's not Robert.
No. That's that's that same bullshit that we say all the time.
And again, to your point, the parasocial relationships that we have with artists is just crazy. Or not even just artists, just, celebrities in general.
Yeah.
And I blame reality TV for that. 100%, because that's where we went on ahead and started to feel like we knew these people. We know what they're about. I blame making the video from MTV. I blame I do, because again, it brought
MTV Cribs.
MTV Cribs, all of that brought us into their lives. So now we know these people. We know what they like. We know what they want. We become so involved in their lives. Not me particularly, but I'm just saying we become so involved in their lives so that now that when they do something, no, you're wrong. You're this. Cancel this. Cancel that. I can't believe you did that to me. They didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I'm gonna disagree with the both of y'all,
Oh.
and I'm gonna just say this. I feel like making the video, MTV Cribs, even like those little slots where TMZ would pop up and like, oh, we saw this one coming out of the airport, and it was like paparazzi or whatever. Like even those things happen at the cusp of like 2000s. I feel like that time, and even the birthing of like reality TV where we got like The Simple Life and all this stuff, I feel like that was the golden age of having access to a celebrity. I feel like the downfall is social media.
I think that's the evolution of
It's
it.
the
I mean,
evolution.
granted, it's the evolution, but I feel like it's more the downfall because, granted, in order for me to see Omarion, I would have had to, because remember, 2000s, I would have to come home from school and wait till making the video came on, or wait till his music video came on, or whatever. If I wanted to see Paris Hilton, I would have to go home, click on the E network, and watch The Simple Life. And it was only when that show aired. They gave it to us when
MySpace started coming out.
Okay, but
with
but
the
listen,
friends and-
right, exactly. But then now what social media did is that now these artists, they're showing us their lives. We don't have to wait for the paparazzi. We're not waiting for E! Network to release an episode of The Kardashians. If I want to see Kim Kardashian and she's going live right now, I can see it. They are giving us that insight. So when it turns around and it backfires on them, granted, they still have a right to be mad because, like I said, these motherfuckers are not our saviors. People literally look at Cardi B and Nicki Minaj like, oh yeah, like I know you personally. You don't know, just because Nicki Minaj is following your fan page does not mean she knows you personally. And that's what becomes so fucking dangerous. You know what I mean? But I really think it's social media. And like I said, some artists play into that. Nicki is truly somebody who plays into that. Like the
Barbs are
Barbs
crazy.
are. Let me tell you something. There's this one woman that I love to listen to. Her name is Kimberly Foster. I was about to say Elizabeth. Kimberly Foster for Harriet. She has like a black feminist channel, but she also talks about trending topics. She's really insightful. Her stuff is so good. She made an opinion an opinion about Nicki's performance. Do you not know that the Barbs doxed her number, her address? They talk about, oh yeah, I know you have a niece that's graduating today. We're going to shoot up the school. Who does this shit over somebody you do not know? What, because she follows your page? She retweeted your tweet? She does not know you. And I don't feel bad for the kittens. Because Doja been telling y'all who the fuck she was. But because the music is so bubblegummy, cute, and annoying, y'all like that shit. She's showing you who she is again, and y'all still gonna buy her music. Like,
They still gonna buy her music.
They're still gonna buy it.
They still gonna buy it.
They still gonna buy it. She's lost a lot of followers, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, it ain't gonna do shit. So I'm like that you said that. So I want to ask this question because it's a very important question. Nowadays, I've heard a lot of celebrities say the weirdest things about how hard they work to get where they at and all that stuff. And they don't care for anybody's opinion. They don't give a shit about anybody's opinion. I actually heard that recently from Steve Harvey, who says, I don't give a shit about that because I am who I am. Do you feel like people need to start realizing that, the celebrities especially, that they needed us more than we needed them?
I will say this. Let me just say this. I think that the artist needs us. Without us, there's no streams. Without the streams, no money. Without the money, there's no publicity. Without the no publicity, you can't promote a tour, you can't promote anything, and your money is depleted. Like, you need fans. Fans are the backbone, or better yet, the foundation of what makes you who you are. So we do not need them. If you decide, fuck all my fans, I'm no longer making music for y'all, there's going to be another person that's way more talented than you that's going to give us what we want and what we desire to hear or see or whatever. So if you are an artist and you have that mentality, Steve Harvey is from the old school. He come from the Chitlin circuit and all of that. Like, he comes from a different era where he feels like whatever, but no, your fans are important. So, and I don't even think he understands what really happens with how things move now. So
I don't think that's actually, I'll top that, right?
Okay.
Steve Harvey said what he said. Steve Harvey's a comedian. If nobody shows up to your show, nobody gives a fuck about you. The Steve Harvey show doesn't exist. Family Feud doesn't happen. None of that shit happens.
I thought Family Feud was still a thing.
I'm saying if people did not come to his shows to laugh,
right?
Guess what? Nobody would give a fuck. If they heckled you and booed you and all that stuff, even though you could have been funny as hell, if they heckled you, booed you, guess what? All the things that happen after, it wouldn't exist. The Kings of Comedy wouldn't exist.
Right.
Steve Harvey show wouldn't exist. Family Feud and all the endorsements that you have, the Miss USA the Miss Universe situation, that would not exist if fans didn't have your back. I need celebrities to start being a little more fucking humble about what they have. You are not an athlete. You are not an athlete. That is the only, and I say that a lot, that is the only exception to the rule where they don't necessarily need fans, because if they are doing everything right and they are working their ass off, guess what? They're going to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people are going to see them. Whether they're controversial or not, there are people going to see them. Kyrie Irving is a good example, right? He is controversial as hell. People hate him. But guess what? He had the number one selling shoe on Nike in most occasions. Wasn't LeBron, it was Kyrie. And if people get mad about the situation, guess what? A NBA organization is not going to drop Kyrie. You know why? Because his average is like over 20 points per game. He is an asset to any organization. They don't give a fuck about those fans, because guess what? Them fans is not gonna stop seeing their team.
Exactly.
It's not about the individual at that point.
It's
about
more
the team.
about, and it's like a regional thing also too, like, you know, when it comes to sports.
And capitalism.
Exactly.
Period.
So
Period.
unless you are an athlete, I would advise you to watch what you say. Be very mindful, because the minute that you do say, "Oh, I don't need my fans," then all those fans wash away, and then boom, look at you.
And in addition, I will say, and I mentioned this in a previous episode, the fans are speaking with their wallets. Like, people don't got time to play with y'all like this. Like, people are running out of money. People are struggling out here. Things are highly expensive. People can't even fucking afford eggs.
Yeah.
So you telling me I must take my good hard-earned money to spend to see you when you don't even care if I see you or not? The fans are speaking with their dollars. You're seeing it. People's concerts are being, I think it was Metro Boomin, I believe, and some other artists. The Baby also, his concerts were canceled twice due to low ticket sales. Like,
I think Lil Baby.
Lil Baby, right? Yes, Lil Baby also. Like, there were, like, people are speaking with their dollars. And a lot of times I saw during the pandemic a lot of this, wherever a celebrity or maybe even an influencer would, be checked by the public, their main thing is, oh, well, y'all broke. Oh, we broke now.
That's everybody.
And
Everybody's favorite
we're
thing.
minding our dollars. And if we don't want to see you, we just not going to do it because people got bills to pay. Rent is high, mortgage. People don't have time for this. So y'all artists better straighten the fuck up. If you feel like we don't need you, let's test the logic.
I mean, let's call it for what it is. These artists are getting a little desperate because let's call it for what it is. They're not really making the income that they're doing. So guess what they're doing now? Oh, they stealing from, the little guy who's trying to work and, thought of a good concept, came up with a good concept, called a fucking podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And said, oh, yeah, I'm going to take money from them.
Or they're sitting here doing Ponzi schemes like G Herbo.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. And it was his baby mom's. What's her name?
Taina.
Not Taina, the other one. Ari Fletcher.
Ari Fletcher, yeah.
The main one talking about, oh, y'all broke. But yeah, your man is gonna be broke now. So good luck with that.
I think overall, like you said, Rasan, it boils down to humility because without us being here as a consumer in this capitalistic environment, you would not be able to afford what you have going on right now. So like even where like again, that's where those that are not humble. Let's really talk about those that are humble, right? So if we're talking about like recently, Billy Porter just said that he had to sell his house.
Yes.
In order to go on ahead and just to maintain the lifestyle that he has right now.
Yeah.
This is an actor, humble, loves his fans. I've seen Billy live in New York City itself, said hello to him. He said hi back to me, loved it. You know what I mean?
I've walked past him before in Midtown.
Yeah, it's just like he now, because of this strike, cannot afford his house.
Yeah. It just
Like,
shows.
come on.
It shows, honestly, this really shows. Like, I've noticed it since the pandemic when I see T.I. getting caught up with some scam shit and all this stuff. If you was really making them big bucks the way you say you was, you wouldn't need to be caught up in that. And thing is, I don't even have OnlyFans. I barely have Twitter. I have seen more booty holes from these celebrities than I've ever cared to see. Ooh. Everybody's going on OnlyFans and skinning their ass because they had no money. And you're beginning to see it. And back to what you're saying about the podcast, imagine YouTube had some type of award ceremony. I think they have it every year. Why the fuck are you awarding Jack Black and Will Smith, two well-known actors, when you have all these people who've had their YouTubes for years and can't even get the recognition? That is not right. And they're only doing that because the checks are drying the fuck up, period.
Yeah, they're using their status to get where they gotta go.
Exactly.
Let's really call it for what it is. At the end of the day, like, you're right. They don't have, the money's not coming in because they have nothing else to do.
Nope.
They have no originality. It's like they know that they're good for a couple months. No offense. I like Lil Yachty's music, but his music does not go that long. City Girls, Carisha, your music does not go that long. That's why you had to make the podcast. All of you guys made the podcast because your money is not that long, because you guys don't handle your money correctly. Let's call it for what it is. The only person that I had that exception to the rule is Joe Budden, because Joe Budden was always making it. He had music. He realized, okay, maybe I can make money from this podcast stuff.
He was one of the first to do. If you really think about it, he was one of the first.
Waka Flocka does that as well. He invests his money itself 100%, and he just gets residual income from what he has there as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like, you are absolutely right. They don't sit there and think about the longevity of their money, like us consumers who have to think about a 401k, who have to think about a Roth IRA, who have to think about our savings, because again, we are choosing to spend our monies in your communities and in your different platforms itself because we want to.
Yeah.
And again, that want can change at any time.
Exactly. And let me throw another curveball because I know somebody gonna be like, oh, but a lot of y'all went to Beyonce's concert. Let me say something to y'all. Beyonce respects her fans. Beyonce minds her business. Beyonce shuts the fuck up even when y'all are coming at her. So that's why people will save up their money for months to go to a Beyonce concert. I've never been to one. I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, but I can understand and respect it because she is a true artist and she's true to her craft. So that's why people will spend $3,000 or however much y'all paid to go. It makes sense.
Wasn't 3,000,
I
but I
would
agree with
hope
you
not.
100%. Again, when you have that artist that truly is doing what they need to do and is truly accepting of their community and everything and sort of like that,
Yeah.
you can go on ahead and you would spend that money on them.
Yeah.
Again, I'd spend money at a Monica concert. I'd spend money at a Brandy concert.
Same.
I would spend money at a Brian McKnight concert.
That makes
100%.
sense.
Yes, I'm real R&B-ish, you know what I mean? That's
fine.
my lane, you know? But I will spend money on that because it makes more sense. I'm sorry, I take back Brian McKnight. He a little funny with the kids.
Oh.
I ain't like
Oh,
that.
no, yeah,
I'm sorry, I bring that back.
Thank you for reminding me about them kids.
I'm just saying, yeah, I had to travel that back because
Yeah.
no.
Maybe
But
not Brian.
Again, so I spend my money where I want to spend my money because it makes the most sense to do so.
I agree.
All right, so let's wrap it up here with this last question, final thoughts from everybody. Do you think there's a way to strike a balance between holding celebrities accountable for their words and allowing them freedom to speak freely and honestly?
I think it always comes down to accountability for me, 100%. You are an individual person. God gave you a sound mind and thoughts to go on ahead and say anything that you want to say. So please go on ahead and exercise that right. We live in America, which is supposed to be the land of the free, and you have freedom of speech here. However, if you need to be educated on a topic, and you just were not, and we educate you on a topic, please go on ahead, that same freedom of speech, just say, I messed up, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, my bad. I will educate myself on that and be good. Because when you don't, you end up being the baby. And you're canceled. And you can't get anybody to come to your show. So that's just that. Understand that and own up to it. That's what I think.
I think also, like, celebrities have to understand that although you have the responsibility of your career, which is to entertain, I do feel like, yes, celebrities do have influence, and you have to be in charge of your destiny as an artist. You have to understand, if I say this can possibly happen. Now, if people want to hold you accountable, like, let's just say we live in a world where people just hold people accountable and not just say, you're canceled, I'm unfollowing, right? Because that's what we live in, really.
Yeah.
If people decide, like, say, for instance, an artist says something homophobic, and you're going to have the trolls, yeah, gay people, blah, blah, blah. But then you're going to have the people that say, hey, look, this is what's happening. This is what it means to be like this. I was just telling you the other day when Wayne Brady came out as Pan, and I was on Baller Alert. I don't know if y'all saw the comments, but it was just like, wow. You know, there were a lot of people who said some really disgusting things, but then there were people who were saying, there were some other people who would be like, what's pansexual? And then you will have people in the comments saying, well, pansexual is A, B, and C. You know, so take the opportunity, if you do say something wrong and you don't know it's wrong, take the time to hear what people have to say, period. And just final note, I'm going to just say this, backpedaling to Jennifer Aniston. Black people are so funny. After they dragged Jennifer, and granted, I loved Jennifer Aniston. She's always unproblematic. I always stand for the main chick. But I love how Black people dragged Jennifer Aniston, and then literally within hours, Living Single was trending. That is funny to me. Anytime we get a chance to come at friends, we gonna come at friends.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Oh my God, that kills me. With Black people, I love y'all. I really do.
So I'm gonna wrap up with saying this. I do feel like I'm gonna kind of tweak. I'm gonna turn on that. Like, yeah, you should get educated, but honestly, you should know this already. Because you are a bigger, you're at a celebrity status where you know the rights and the wrongs, you know the lefts and the rights, you know the ins and the outs. You should know as an adult what to say, what not to say. I understand if you're like an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, I understand, like, you're still learning a lot about the world. But when you're at 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you're way more educated than people would hope you are. So it's no way that you should just... I don't know if you're saying it for clout, because that's what I felt like Neo did. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Yeah.
I feel like he did that shit for Cap.
Sure did.
And he did it because he's not relevant anymore. Or you really must be stupid. You must be fucking stupid. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I believe that you, before writing anything, you should know it. Don't, oh yeah, you say it, then you get educated, then you have to apologize. Fuck all that. At this point, you kind of already know what's going on in the world. You really do. You shouldn't be that dumbfounded when you find, like, stop acting like stop acting like those fucking white people that quiver whenever you tell them something that is right.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't
Get
know.
the fuck out of here. You are definitely old enough to know and educate yourself. Everybody should start thinking smarter. Start using your fucking brain, bro. You have a brain. Unless you don't, and we don't know about it.
And just a real quick piggyback off what you said, especially if you have children and you're raising children in today's day and age, you are responsible for going on ahead and continuing that education and involving with that.
Period.
So again, do your due diligence. But that's that.
With that being said, I'd like to thank my co-hosts Kevin and Ebony today. Again, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, both at We Ain't Them _. The underscore is important, guys. Definitely check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/@ We Ain't Them. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Spotify. Get our views up. Our anniversary is coming soon, and we want to treat you guys to something really fun that we really have a passion for. It's a passion project that we really want to work on, and we really need to get our views up so that we can get monetized and we can start getting money. With that being said, I've been your host, Rasan, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later, guys.
Bye.